Nothing gets me fired up more than thinking about the potential certain characters had that was just not fulfilled.
Absolutely. And the character that immediately comes to my mind when I think of that is this mysterious woman who appears in a single scene in RKO's 1942 underrated gem, Cat People. If you haven't seen Cat People, please go watch it, because I need there to be more fans of it in this day and age so I can gush about how much I love it. And also, if enough of a fan base grows, it needs to be made into a musical. But anyway, for context, Irena is a woman who has just moved to New York City from Serbia, and she meets this guy named Oliver, and as they're getting to know each other, she tells him that there is this legend about her village. Long ago, the people of the village fell back into wicked ways and devil worship, and when King John, a good Christian king, saw that this had happened, he became enraged and he put all the people to the sword. But, so the story goes on to say, the wisest and wickedest of the villagers, mostly women, escaped to the mountains, but as punishment for their wickedness, they were cursed where whenever they give into their passions, they turn into panthers that tear their potential beloveds apart. And Oliver's like, oh, what a charming folk story. Like, he's so dismissive and condescending to her, but Irena apparently sees something in him because they fall in love and get married, and that's where this scene comes in. They are celebrating at a local Serbian restaurant, and that's where this mysterious woman appears.
The bride. The bride. Look at that woman. Isn't she something? Looks like a cat.
Thank you so much for this lovely party, Alice. I didn't know there was a second restaurant.
Anything you want to know about this city, ask me. I know all the unimportant details.
Moja sestra. Moja sestra?
Well, how do you like that?
What did that woman say to you, darling? Well, what did she say? Now, wait a minute. It can't be that serious. It's one single word.
She greeted me. She called me sister.
Do we ever find out what relationship, if any, she has with Irena? Nope, because she never comes back. That's the only scene in the film in which that cat lady appears. Now, of course, fans have speculated as to who she might be. There's an LGBTQ reading of the film that suggests that the woman addressing Irena as sister is a lesbian trying to signal to another, hey girl, you may be deep in the closet, but I sense who you are because I'm one too, embrace who you are, which is fantastic, although I feel like a silly straight for admitting this, but I didn't pick up on that at all when I first watched the film. But once it was pointed out, I was like, that's great. I love it. I can totally see that. But I also have my own fan theory as to who that woman is. So my theory is that she and Irena are indeed biological sisters, and that Irena's sister followed her to New York from Serbia because she's like, girl, that story about how our village fell into devil worship, that's Christian propaganda. It's Christians demonizing the traditional faith and folk practices of Serbia. You can try to cover up by being a good Christian girl all you want, but that faith, those practices, those are who you are. Embrace them. So what if they call you a witch? Embrace that label. Be a witch. If it makes you a villain, so be it. And that's why she shows up at the restaurant. Not only to try to talk to Irena about these things and convince her to come home, but also, without giving too much away, to let her know that while Oliver presents himself to Irena as a loving, kind husband, and Alice presents herself as a helpful friend, they're not. So, if you haven't seen Cat People, this is your sign to do so. Please. Again, I need more fans out there so we can talk about how amazing it is, and hopefully, if the fan base grows enough, somebody somewhere will adapt it into a musical. When the film came out in 1942, it was a then contemporary piece made and set in that year, and if it's adapted into a musical, I say keep it in that year. How awesome would a 1940s style musical be? The costumes, the sets, the music, oh my God, the music would be amazing. So yes, if you haven't seen Cat People, please go watch it so we can make this a thing. Seriously, just look at the poster. Imagine this beauty as a musical.